I have a feeling to share with you, and this is from our feelings book. So I'll show you the picture and then I'll do some reading and we'll talk about it a little bit. This one is called I Am Bored. I'm trying to see if I'm actually showing you the picture. There we go. Okay, so check out that picture for a moment and then we'll read about it. I am bored, or I'm bored, it says. Everybody has felt bored once in a while. You know when you feel like there's nothing to do and nothing seems interesting or fun, then all you can say is, I'm bored. That's when we need to find something to do. Did you know that feeling bored is a great opportunity to try something new? The funny part is that once you start doing something, you actually forget that you were bored. This is one that I've been hearing a lot from Silas lately. Things are different, and we're not going to school. He's not going to soccer. He's not going over to his friend's house or having his friends come over. And he's saying a lot, I'm bored. Yeah, you might be feeling that way too. I am sometimes feeling that way, that I'm bored. What does it mean to be bored? Yeah. Yep. Kind of like, I just don't know what to do. I don't feel like doing that. I don't feel like doing that. Just kind of feel like you don't have anything that you want to do and not quite sure how to occupy yourself. Bored. Is it a feeling you like or a feeling that you don't like? Yeah, I'll say it's not one that I particularly enjoy. Feeling bored. Yeah, it's not a great feeling. Okay. What do you do when you feel bored? How can we solve it? So if it's not something that we particularly enjoy, how do we solve it? When you feel bored, what can you do? Maybe you have some ideas that you already try out at home when you're bored. So I want you to pause me for a minute and think of 3 things that you can do when you feel bored. Okay, so 3 ideas to help yourself move through that feeling. So go ahead and pause me. If you have a stuffy by you or a family member, I want you to share 3 things that you think you can do when you feel bored. And then turn me back on and I'll share some of my ideas. So, okay, you've thought of your 3 things. Now, let's see if they're the same as mine or different. I really miss being able to hear your ideas because often I learn so much from hearing your ideas. But let me share with you a little bit of what Silas and I do, okay? So one of the things that we do at a time when maybe we're not bored, we make a list of all the possible things that we could do, okay? So we have a lot of work that needs to be done in our yard, like picking up sticks and clearing out some of the forest. So that's one of the things. We could always do that. We could always work more out in our forest. So one thing, forest or yard work. Another thing that we can do is take the dog on a walk because she always wants to go on a walk. So that's another thing. Another thing that we can do is call one of our family members. Like I like to call my mom and my dad a lot and talk to them. So that's another one. Silas likes to call his friends and chat with them. There's always something that we can clean or tidy up. But then we think of other ideas like get creative. I did a creative project this weekend and that helped me not feel bored because I did some painting and some figuring out and it was fun. So you can think of ways to be creative, maybe do an art project, ways to be helpful, something you can do to help out your family. So having a list of a whole bunch of different ideas is helpful. So then when you have that moment of, I feel bored, what should I do? You can get out that list and check it out. Okay, so having a list helps. Another thing that we sometimes do is, okay, I feel bored. And we take that bored feeling and just do a couple minutes of some kind of exercise just to take our mind off of being bored, to re-energize ourselves. Because sometimes when we're bored, we're feeling tired or a little bit lazy. And if you do a couple minutes of some kind of exercise, sit-ups or push-ups or jumping jacks, squats, lunges, something that you can just do right where you are in the house, running in place, something kind of like brings a lot of oxygen to your body and helps your brain wake up. And then sometimes just by helping your brain to wake up like that, you are able to think of more ideas. Whereas a minute ago when you were tired and your brain was sleepy, you couldn't really think of anything. But when your brain wakes up, whoa, you're able to think of ideas. Okay, so there's two things, a list, some exercises. Also waking up your brain, water. Remember, water really helps wake up our brains and brings us our body oxygen. Another one that I am thinking of is flipping around your feelings and your perspective. So instead of saying I'm bored, remember how we talked about being thankful? Think about all the things you're so lucky to have, all the opportunities. Instead of saying I'm so bored, I wish I could go do such and such. Like I love bowling, I wish I could go bowling. I'm so bored that I can't do that right now. But instead of just focusing on what I wish I could do, or Silas, I'm so bored, I wish I could go to a soccer game, or I wish I could have soccer practice. Instead of focusing on what you can't do, think of all the things you're so lucky that you can do. I am so lucky that we have so many fun board games to choose from. Let's play a board game. Okay? So switch around your perspective. Maybe try something new. Like for me, sometimes I'm bored and it's a good time to take on a challenge of something new. Like for Silas, this is something that he decided, oh, I'm feeling bored. So we said, how about pick out a recipe that you want to cook, something you've never cooked before. We can order the ingredients and you can cook that. So something new, give yourself a new challenge. You can also ask for advice. Ask someone in your family or a brother or a sister. Ask for advice. I'm bored. Do you have any ideas for me? And you'll have to have an open mind because they might come up with a list of things and you don't want to just say, no, 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 no. But be open and say, is that really something I'd like to do? Think about it. Okay? So there's some ideas. I'm sure that you have others that you've thought of that I haven't thought of. What can you do when you're bored? Okay, so try and think about all the ideas that I've shared, the ideas that you've come up with. The next time you're feeling bored, think about what you could do to move through that feeling.